Hello and welcome to WEBN Sports. I'm Daniel Lipoff.
And I'm Kira Lancia. Let's get into the top sports stories right away. On Sunday, the Buffalo Bills hosted the San Francisco 49ers at Highmark Stadium, and both teams were up against New York's heavy snowfall. The Bills had to shovel 20-plus inches of snow out of the stadium the morning of the game. Flurries continued during the contest, covering the players and the fans with snow. The Bills celebrated their win and their 7-game win streak with Snow Angels. They faced the LA Rams in Week 14.
The Seattle Seahawks visited the New York Jets in an NFC West vs. AFC East matchup. The Jets took the lead 14-0 at the end of the first quarter, but the Seahawks answered in the second with 2 touchdowns and a field goal. The Jets were up 21-17 going into the fourth, and some were smelling an upset, but Aaron Rodgers threw an interception to Seahawks defensive end Leonard Williams, who returned the ball 92 yards, setting them up to score the game-winning touchdown.
This Sunday, the New England Patriots lost to the Indianapolis Colts by just 1 point. Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson's 2-point conversion in the final seconds of the game gave his team the final push they needed to win. The Colts walked away victorious by a final score of 25-24. The Colts are now 6-7, while the Pats sit at 3-10 heading into Week 14. For more in the NFL, let's now go to our NFL expert Amaya Briones.
Thank you, Kara. Trevor Lawrence got a concussion during the second quarter of Sunday's game against the Houston Texans after a late hit by linebacker Asad Al-Shir. Lawrence was nearing the end of a 6-yard scramble when Al-Shir hit him with a hard blow, causing a big fight between players from both teams. The Howards quickly confirmed the concussion, sidelining their star quarterback, who must go through the NFL's concussion protocol. Early this week, Jets interval head coach Jeff Ulbrich confirmed that Aaron Rodgers started against the Miami Dolphins despite speculation about his future with the team. He is 41 years old and has been battling injuries all season. He entered the game losing 8 of his previous 9 starts and struggling in multiple passing categories. Ulbrich defended the decision at the time, emphasizing Rodgers' toughness and accountability while expressing hope that improved health would bring better performances. The Detroit Lions are on fire with an 11-1 record, and their deep players are stepping up big. Wide receiver Tim Patrick, signed after his release by the Broncos, has become a key contributor with 21 catches for 306 yards. Jared Goff called Patrick relatable and praised his impact on the offense. On defense, veterans like Alquin Mohammed and linebackers David Long and Ezekiel Turner have stepped up amid injuries to key starters. The Lions also added Pro Bowl safety Jamal Adams, boosting an already strong secondary. Goff emphasized the importance of the whole team, saying it's not just the 53 guys, but those on the practice squad who help us out throughout the week. With the players shining, the Lions are wearing off for a strong players push. That's all I have for you. NFL news, back to you both at the desk.
The Colorado Buffaloes have faced backlash after a controversial touchdown celebration during their Friday game against the OSU Cowboys. Colorado cornerback DJ McKinney lifted up his leg like a dog and pretended to use the bathroom on OSU's field. The celebration got Colorado a 15-yard penalty, but the game was already in the palm of their hands. The Buffaloes won 52-0, extending the Cowboys' losing streak to 9.
A stunner in Columbus on Saturday as the Michigan Wolverines upset the highly favored Ohio State Buckeyes 13-10. This is the 4th year in a row that Michigan has won against Ohio State. It all came down to a Dominic Zavada field goal late in the 4th, putting the Wolverines up and eventually giving them the win. Michigan's upset was exhilarating, but another exciting college football game took place. Let's now transition to the Georgia vs. Georgia Tech highlights. All right, here we go. The Georgia Showdown. Here we go. Now, Haynes King's going to run this in for a 2-yard touchdown, putting the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets up. Then this is one of the most beautiful plays I think I've ever seen. A reverse to Oscar Delp, back to Arian Smith, who's going to run. He's going to keep running. He's going to get the first down. He's going to make a man miss. He's going to take a block and get tackled at the 21-yard line. Now, another beautiful Haynes King, 3rd and 1. Much needed conversion, but they lost the ball. A huge, huge mistake for a highly crucial 3rd and 1. Celebration by the Georgia players. Now, this is for overtime. Carson Beck's going to throw it to Dominic Lovett in the end zone, caught for the touchdown, and this is the beginning of overtime. Now, we had 8 overtimes, so we're not going to show all of it, but Nate Frazier is going to run in for the 2-point conversion, and Georgia will win 44-42.
We will be back after a short break.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to WEBN Sports.
USC QB Miller Moss will enter the transfer portal saying that, quote, "There comes a time where it's time to move on to new opportunities, and I'm hoping to better myself as a person and a player," end quote. Moss said that in his next step, he's looking for a school that can compete for a conference championship and win at the highest level.
The Ole Miss Rebels beat the Mississippi State Bulldogs 26-14 last Friday. It marked Ole Miss's 4th win in 5 years against the Bulldogs. After the Rebels lost to Florida last week, this Egg Bowl win helped them make the college football playoffs. Syracuse upset Miami last week. Let's take a look at the highlights. All right, making UMiami's second touchdown of the game, Xavier Restrepo gets called out of bounds at first. Then after review is called inbounds. That brings their score 14-0. Quarterback Cam Ward then throws a touchdown pass to Eliza Arroyo. This brought their score 21-0. Syracuse LaQuint Allen then starts their comeback, making their first touchdown of the game. Syracuse then scored 2 more touchdowns, with Pena making their third, as we're about to watch right here. Syracuse kept up this comeback, eventually beating Miami 42-38.
James Harden has joined Steph Curry with 3,000 career three-pointers made. Harden achieved this in the first half of the Clippers game against the Denver Nuggets on Sunday night. He hit 3 three-pointers in the first half and 3 more in the second, just barely missing a triple-double.
The Cleveland Cavaliers defeated the Boston Celtics 115-111 in a highly anticipated game between the NBA's top 2 teams. The final 34 seconds of the game took 17 minutes of real time to complete. NBA analyst Kevin O'Connor said the game felt like, quote, torture down the wire. Both teams kept exchanging fouls instead of letting the game come to an end. For more NBA news, we go to Vivian Felber.
Thanks, guys. LeBron James is in a shooting slump, particularly from three-point range, having missed 19 consecutive attempts in a 109-80 loss against the Timberwolves. James scored just 10 points, going 4 for 16 in shooting and giving up 6 turnovers. This reflects on the Lakers' 12-9 record under rookie coach J.J. Redick. James acknowledged the team's offensive struggles, noting that their focus on defense has hurt their offense. James' 22 points per game is the lowest since his rookie season. While James still aims to play all 82 games this season, his recent performances raises concerns about his health and the team's overall offensive issues. Forward Anthony Davis commented on the matter, calling for more consistency as the team looks to improve. Donovan Mitchell's 20 points in the fourth quarter helped lead the Cleveland Cavaliers to a 115-111 victory over the Boston Celtics. This ends the Celtics' 7-game winning streak and boosts the Cavs' confidence against a team who eliminated them in last season's playoffs. Mitchell, who struggled early on in the game, made all 6 of his shots in the final period, including 4 three-pointers and 4 free throws. Mitchell remains focused on winning a championship for Cleveland, his ultimate goal. LaMelo Ball will be sidelined for at least 2 weeks due to a strained left calf. Following the Hornets' loss to the Miami Heat, Ball felt discomfort in his legs, having him miss their next game against the New York Knicks. Ball is scheduled to be reevaluated on December 11th. Ball has been in excellent form recently, averaging 40.3 points over his last 4 games and is posting career highs of 31.1 points and 4.7 three-pointers per game. Despite his strong performance, Ball has a history of injuries, particularly to his ankles, since entering the league as the number 3 overall pick in 2020. The 23-year-old has played in 202 games with 182 starts in his 5 seasons with the Charlotte Hornets. That's all I have in the NBA. Back to you at the desk.
Coming up, we talk all things Edmonton.
And we look into the Florida Panthers' dominating win. Stay with us.
Welcome back to WEBN Sports. Edmonton Oilers forward Jeff Skinner was fined $2,000 by the NHL for embellishment during a game against the New York Rangers on October 22nd. This is Skinner's second citation, which triggered the fine, and the money will go to the Players' Emergency Assistance Fund.
Washington Capitals captain Alex Ovechkin is back on the road to matching Wayne Gretzky's record of 894 career goals. After fracturing his fibula on November 18th, the Capitals announced Ovechkin would miss 4 to 6 weeks of the season. He's back on the ice for practices and is working hard to quickly recover. He currently sits only 26 goals shy of tying Gretzky.
It was all smiles for Florida Panthers fans after they emerged victorious over the Carolina Hurricanes 6-0. Panthers goaltender Spencer Knight saved all 20 shots faced. All 6 goals were scored by different players, and the Panthers will take on the Pittsburgh Penguins Tuesday at 7 p.m. For more on the NHL, we go to the wonderful Chloe Fadum.
Thank you, Daniel. Columbus Blue Jackets defenseman David Yurchuk was traded to the Minnesota Wild on Saturday. With this trade, the Wild received Yurchuk and a 5th-round pick in the 2025 draft. The Blue Jackets, on the other hand, received defenseman Damon Hunt, a 1st-round pick in the 2025 NHL entry draft, a 3rd and 4th-round pick in the 2026 draft, and a 2nd-round pick in the 2027 draft. According to the Wild's general manager, Bill Guerin, it was a, quote, no-brainer to give up the 1st-round pick. On Sunday, the Boston Bruins won their centennial game against the Montreal Canadiens 6-3. The game took place exactly 100 years after the Bruins' first game in 1924, where they beat the Montreal Maroons 2-1. The Bruins held a 20-minute pregame ceremony featuring tribute videos and special appearances from franchise legends such as Willie O'Ree, Bobby Orr, Ray Burke, and Patrice Bergeron. 11 former Bruins players, Bruins captain Brad Marchand, and family members of 4 late Bruins legends were welcomed onto the ice before the game. Marchand said, quote, "The history of the game and this organization is something that we're very proud of in here." The pregame festivities ended as the Bruins alumni passed pucks to a dozen youth hockey players, signifying the passing of a torch for the league. Vancouver Canucks goaltender Kevin Lankinen made history on Sunday night as the first goalie in NHL history to start a season 10-0-0 on the road. This new record came as Lankinen helped the Canucks defeat the Detroit Red Wings 5-4 in overtime. Lankinen was previously tied with Detroit goalie Cam Talbot and Hall of Famer Glenn Hall for the record at 9 wins. Lankinen's overall record with the team now stands at 11-3-2. Back to you guys.
That's all the sports news we have today. As always, I'm Daniel Lipoff.
And I'm Kiera Lancia. See you next time.